Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is Donovan Jolly, and welcome everybody once again for another amazing video of DIY investing. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some updated analysis inside of Bitcoin, as well as taking a look at the total market cap so that we can get the best idea of where the prices are going to be heading over the next couple weeks. On top of that, I'm going to be sharing with you guys one of my favorite altcoin setups. As we get closer towards the end of the year, we oftentimes see altcoins run up 10, 20, 50, even 100x returns plus in just a matter of a couple months. This happens often, especially when all the new money is flooding into the markets. A very speculative frenzy takes place. And so for today's video, I'm going to be wrapping it up by explaining to you guys one of my favorite altcoins that I think is setting up to do one of these same type of returns and how we can all go about making a lot of money off of it as that takes place. If you're new and just finding this channel, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. Always remember to click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these amazing videos like the one provided for you here. And make sure you guys sign up and join the Discord server of over 21,000 members and growing. Links are provided for you in the description for the people that want to join my community and sign up. On top of that, if you're new, just getting into these markets and you want extra educational content on really just how to be more profitable inside the crypto markets, links are also in the description to go ahead and download my free ebook and beginner's guide to crypto. So check it out. Links are provided for you in the description. And with all that being said, guys, let's jump right into this amazing video today. Alrighty guys, so here we are to start off today's video. We're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin, and then we're going to be diving into the total market cap, and then once again finishing up with an altcoin that I think is setting up in a major way. Now, with the Bitcoin chart, obviously not much has changed from our last video. We're still waiting to finish out this major correction. In the last video, we were basically at the very bottom of this panic. We were right around here towards the very end point of that. And then, basically what happened is we did manage to get a bounce, but we pretty much just rejected off of this lower resistance and made a lower high. So as it stands right now, the market doesn't look so great. We did have a little bit of a bounce off of this support level here at about 57,000. But this red candle's coming in here, and it looks to be like this might just end up going a little bit lower. We got to wait and see how the candle actually closes. But for the most part, the chart ends up looking like we could see one more low. I'm not going to lie, that does what it seems to be showing right here. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do make that one more low back down to about 53,784. If we do manage to get one more low, I think that's where it will take us to. It'll be a decent sized sell-off. That'll crack over 20% from the top of that move. It'll be like 22% all the way back down there. It'll be a nice little shakeout. Many altcoins will, honestly, even with how the altcoins have been performing, Bitcoin's been going down, but we've actually seen a lot of altcoins doing rather well. Some of them are holding up, some of them are making new highs. Yeah, for the majority, there's a lot that have been going down over the last couple weeks just with Bitcoin. But during these times of consolidation is where we do see random altcoins just kind of start popping off, in which we have seen that up to this point. This little sell-off that we've seen, at this point there has been a lot more of a drawdown that's taking place. But once the market bottom actually takes place, I do believe that we're going to see altcoins run in a major way. We may just have to see one more low before we ultimately do get to that point. And as it stands, if we look on the daily time frame, this was a pretty decent amount of support that is now acting as resistance. I do think that if we're not going to be able to hold pretty much where we're at right now, then we're going to see one more leg back down to about 53,750. That's what I'm going to be watching up for with Bitcoin. Not much changes. Regardless, I think that all of this is just going to be continuation. It really doesn't change anything on the bigger trend. We're seeing a lot of altcoins that still look exceptional, retesting major all-time high levels, major levels of previous resistance now acting as support. And so even though Bitcoin's going down and we could see one more leg lower, it really doesn't change any of the big picture with what we're seeing with altcoins. It's really just that we're going to have to take a little bit more time to get to that point. Now, let's also talk about the total market cap, because the total market cap is in, arguably a more bullish point than Bitcoin, and I think that has to do with a lot of the altcoin gains that we've been seeing. The altcoins have done a really phenomenal job of bringing new money into the market, which is to be expected this point in the cycle, because that's really what you see in the blow off top. It's a lot of speculative money, and speculation is driven around altcoins. So That's what people are going to be investing in predominantly. And now what we're seeing is basically the same chart as what I've explained to Ethereum. What we've had is the previous resistance level. This is just us retesting it. And we did manage to get a wick off of this. That looks nice. We're going to see how this 3-day closes. And even if we drop it down to the closer time frames of a 1-day, I wouldn't be surprised if this makes somewhat of a double bottom formation. And it could even bottom where we're at today. We still have, 6 hours left until the daily closes. But as it stands, it really doesn't change anything. As long as we're going to be consolidating above this previous resistance level, I think that this is just going to create bullish continuation. And the way it stands right now, it looks like we could easily see a little double bottom formation that would do something along the lines of that. So I'm going to be watching out for this with the total market cap. Nothing really changes at all. I think both charts are bullish, even though Bitcoin really hasn't made a big higher high. It did make one. It made a new all-time high, but we're still back within the previous bounds. The total market cap is above the previous all-time highs. So I think that this is ultimately what we need to pay attention for as there's more fear, as there's more uncertainty surrounding Bitcoin. It doesn't have as clear of a direction as maybe what the total market cap shows. So I wanted to share with you guys this one, just a way to kind of simplify some of those emotions. Now, guys, let's talk about the altcoin on today's video. This is one of those altcoins that I think is setting up in a big way, and it's one of those layer ones. Now, guys, what is a layer one? Well, a layer one is basically Ethereum. We've seen a number of these layer ones take off. Binance Coin, it's an exchange token, but it's also got its own chain there as well. We've seen Fantom take off. We've seen Terra Luna take off. We've seen Matic. We've seen, well, Matic's technically a layer 2, but we've seen all of these layer 1s take off in a major way. Solana's been one of the best performing altcoins over the last year, if not the best. And it's also one of those examples of a layer 1. So I do believe that there's a lot of money specifically with that narrative. And that's actually something I've taught on this channel a lot. I remember back last year when I was accumulating a lot of altcoins and I started unloading heavy into Ethereum back at $340. What I was telling people, and what I even told people way back a year before that, back in 2019, was the best kind of cryptos, the ones to look out for, are going to be the ones that other cryptos can build upon, the layer 1 ecosystems, right? Because then you have all of these new tokens that can be created under your ecosystem. If 5 of those do good, that ultimately benefits you as the creator of that ecosystem. And that's why we've actually seen some of those being the biggest returning gains in this cycle. We've seen a lot of layer 1s performing well. I bought a number of them. I've made a ton of money. They've actually been my best performing assets inside of my portfolio, especially with consistency. I've had a number of them take off, at least 3 to 5 out of the ones that I held. And when it comes down to finding that exact narrative inside of others, I didn't make as big a returns as I did with the layer 1 narrative. And so this is one of those examples, and this is Cardia Chain. Now, Cardia is basically, the example is like the heartbeat. It's the center, it's everything of this ecosystem. It's the main piece of that. Without the heart, nothing can really exist behind it. And so this is kind of where a lot of tokens can be built on. And that's why I think that this one's going to do really well. We've already seen it do well off of the lows. This is one that I've actually been accumulating since back down in here. This is when I started accumulating my Cardia chain. And I've actually just been holding. I didn't take profits inside of this pump. I haven't sold any at all. I've just been holding ever since. And now it's actually starting to take off once again. I love this chart because it reminds me so much of what we actually saw with Binance Coin. And so if we come over here and look at the chart of Binance Coin, there are some differences, but for the most part, this looks just about the same. It follows roughly the same Elliott wave structure where we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Binance Coin makes this ABC correction. The only real difference here, because the charts look the same, the only difference here is if we pulled up like the date between conception to the point where it broke out of the all-time high, it was like 12 to 1300 days approximately. Whereas with Cardia Chain, this entire consolidation is like half that. So obviously, this isn't going to be quite the same as what we saw with Binance Coin. Binance Coin was double the length of consolidation, but this one also has a fraction of the market cap. And so in a way, it's the same. And I actually think that the returns will be similar as we get closer towards the end of the year, because what I've made inside of some of these layer 1s, I bought Fantom really early on. I made a ton of money off of that. I bought Terra Luna early on. I made a ton of money off of that. I bought Solana way early at 60 cents, but I ended up selling it way too early at like $3. So I ended up missing out on that one. But a lot of these layer 1s have been my best returning positions, and that's why this one really hasn't done a whole lot. It's obviously up from my entry price, but I've been holding it for a long period of time. And so really, I'm not up that much for the length of time that I've actually been holding it. I mean, 5x is great, but it's not like is some of the returns I would have seen elsewhere. That's one of the fun things I do like about this as a whole, though, is we are breaking out. We're at the very beginning stages of breaking out. This is the point where we should expect it to see it actually go pretty parabolic. And it's still got relatively small market cap. Compared to what Binance Coin was over here, it's got a lot smaller of a market cap. And with this being a layer 1, I think a lot of money is going to be flooding into this. And so this is one to watch out for. What we saw with Binance Coin was this type of a move. And the reason we saw this type of a move because it was going into its wave 3 impulse. Notice how we had 3 impulse waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC back down. This completed our 1 wave. This was only a 1 wave expanse. And so then when wave 3 came in here, wave 3 is oftentimes the biggest, the most parabolic. That's why we saw it go up so fast, so vertical. The same thing is happening with Cardia Chain today. We see roughly the same sort of Elliott wave structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. What we just completed was our ABC on the bigger picture. We got our double bottom formation, and now we're breaking out from that double bottom formation going into wave 3. So where we're at is kind of just the very beginning stages of where Binance Coin took off. I mean, we're still within the previous all-time highs. When Binance Coin was at that point, it was like here, basically. This is when it flipped it. And then everything just went crazy. And so we should expect to see something similar as we get closer towards the end of the year. A lot of money coming in here. This has great volume. I love the volume profile. Everything that you want to see. I mean, in the corrections, it's declining volume, declining price after continuation of volume, continuation of price. And that's what we see in both of these corrections. Declining price, declining volume. And now we're seeing major volume, way more volume than what we saw even at the high of this wave 5. And we're still below that wave 5 in the all-time highs. And so these are prime examples of some of these that just take off in a major way to close out the end of the cycles. I think that we're going to be able to make a lot of money off of the layer 1s. You know, that narrative is only going to continue on as we get closer towards the blow off top in the very end of this cycle. And so where we're at with Bitcoin, guys, you know, one more leg lower, whether we find support here, it doesn't really change anything. All of this is going to lead to continuation. And I think that the next cycle that does happen after we do find the low that we take place inside of Bitcoin, whether it's here or whether we come back down to 53,750, I think that 100K is going to. I think 100K is going to come rather quickly, a lot faster than people are expecting. All charts are pointing to bullish. I keep saying that because I really want people to make sure that they're holding. They're not making dumb decisions by panic selling now while that we're on support. And so if you guys are looking for a crypto, relatively low market cap, it's not going to be a low cap by any means, but this is one of those layer 1s that hasn't pumped yet. It's one of those in my portfolio I'm still holding, expecting to see a nice pump as we get closer towards the end of the year. So if you guys found value in this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of this amazing content. For the future, if you guys want to join the Discord server or download my free ebook, links are provided for you in the description for that. If you guys would like to join my VIP, follow all the trades I'm taking, follow all the stuff, all my analysis, taking profits end of the year, all of that fun stuff is going to get taught to you inside of the Discord server. So links are provided for you in the description for that. If you guys would also like to join my NFT projects Discord, I will link that below as well. That's where you're going to be able to actually get access. See, the whitelist just got announced, and so if you guys have been waiting for that, make sure you guys join the Discord server. We just cracked over 1,000 people. So if you guys do want to get access to the whitelist, be some of the first people to get access to the mint when we go live in the middle of December, that's where you're going to be able to figure all of that out. So thank you all so much for the support. And with that being said, I will catch you in the next one. As always, peace out.